What's going on, you guys? Welcome to the Racy Podcast. This is your host, Cristopher Zamora. Welcome to the show. So today, guys, I want to speak to you about the new Metal Gear Solid game that is going to come out this year. I can confirm that this game it is gonna come out on August 2025, and definitely the PlayStation. They're the ones who kind of leaked the actual dates of when this actual game is gonna come out. Yeah, it was just like an accident, and then Konami they had to show the trailer very soon. The game is actually gonna come out on August the 28th, 2025, and man, the remake for this video game it actually looks pretty good, man. I'm actually somewhat excited for this game because I've only did play this game once, but like I do remember playing it. It was like around maybe when I was like in 10th grade or 11th grade. It was like during the summertime. Almost every single night, like after everybody went to go to sleep, I actually played in my PS Vita the Metal Gear Solid 3 game, and wow, it was actually a good storyline, and it was kind of a bit difficult to actually play these type of games because I really wasn't used to like these type of video games, but like the storyline is what makes these games so good, especially like the one with Death Stranding. I have mentioned before in the past that Death Stranding, I think it should have been created as a movie instead of just a video game. Hideo Kojima, he knows how to create good storylines, but his gameplays, like for his games, I don't think they're not as good. Just his storylines, and he definitely could be like another Stanley Kubrick or a Quentin Tarantino or something like that for film. Even a Christopher Nolan as well for Hideo Kojima. You can say that he is the Christopher Nolan of video games. But yeah, like I said, Metal Gear Solid Delta, and that's what they calling it. I did see the trailer and wow, the graphics look so insane, dude. Just by the graphics alone, people will want to play this video game. It's good that they started with this one instead of actually starting with Metal Gear Solid 1 and going with 2, because this is a prequel. This is the story before Big Boss became Big Boss on Metal Gear Solid 4. Yeah, so I cannot wait, man. I cannot wait to actually get this video game, and probably might get it for the Steam Deck because Steam Deck is such a great system. But maybe I might just wait for a sale for the game because it is gonna cost like $69.99 just to get one game. No, man, it's just might as well just wait for it, and maybe I'll get it around the time of like around October or November time. They have announced that Spider-Man 2 is now on the Steam Deck. That's awesome because now I'll be able to freaking play it because man, it's hard to play video games on the PS5 because I feel like it's more easier to play on the Steam Deck now. I'm just so used to it, and you can play anywhere you want. That's the great thing about the Steam Deck. You can play any game at any time that you want to, and you don't have to be in one place. That's what makes the Steam Deck so great, and I will be able to play the Metal Gear Solid Delta anywhere I want to in the world. I could play it just in my living room. I could play it when I'm traveling somewhere. And it's just a cool thing. That's what makes the Steam Deck such a great portable device. And there's some other ones competing as well with this one, with the Steam Deck. But since like the Steam Deck was the very first one to actually do it like this, where you'll be able to play almost every single game, excluding the Nintendo games. Yeah, it's just difficult for any other company to compete with Steam. Steam is just supreme, and it will remain like that for quite a long time, I believe. And now, speaking of video games, they did announce that Rocksteady, the people who have created the three Batman games that, no, actually the four Batman games that maybe you might have grown up watching, the Batman Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, Arkham Origins, and Arkham Knight. Those four video games are supreme. They're legendary for Rocksteady. They did made that Suicide Squad game, and that game did not do so well because people did not like how the story ended for that one. And so they have announced that they are going to make a new Batman game. And it says right here, the game will still be years away from release. So now they are trying to redeem themselves with how they ended the storyline with Suicide Squad. I haven't played the video game, but I did see the ending. I did get spoiled the ending on Twitter, but it didn't really matter. Because since I didn't really play it and didn't really care about the game as much. So yeah, that's what they are going to do again. They're going to try to make a new single player Batman game, Rocksteady. I'm just wishing they come back, man, and do Batman justice. Man, it's just so difficult for a company to stay relevant and to make great games all the time. One other company that is struggling right now, it is Ubisoft, and they are depending quite a lot in for this new Assassin's Creed game that is going to come out very soon, Assassin's Creed Shadows. They are depending on that video game to make a lot of money, and I'm hoping they do, man, because it will suck that one of the biggest companies that I grew up playing their video games just shuts down or gets bought. It will most likely suck if they actually do get shut down, but I hope not, man. I do not wish for any company to ever get shut down like that because they're not making enough money. That would really suck, man. But Assassin's Creed Shadows, hopefully it does well. They kind of suck because they took quite a long time to actually create a video game that took place in Japan. The fans have been asking for a video game like this for years, and Ghost of Tsushima was the game that actually kind of forced them to actually now create an Assassin's Creed game that takes place in Japan. I think that's why they actually made this video game, man. And hopefully they actually do well. And now, speaking of video games, now I am switching to combat sports. There's some big news, man. And this news, you might have heard of it already if you are a combat sports fan, a boxing fan, mostly. Canelo Alvarez was supposedly going to fight Terrence Crawford, right? It was confirmed this week around Monday or Tuesday, and now it was canceled because there were rumors saying that he was supposedly going to fight the YouTuber Jake Paul, but I did not believe that, man. I did not believe that at all because why would Canelo actually do that? Well, maybe the money, but why would he just fight a random YouTuber? And then news came out that wasn't true. And the real truth is that he signed a 4-fight deal with Turki Al-Sheikh, the main guy from Saudi Arabia. He's going to fight 4 fights. And see, look, these are the dates. These are Canelo's schedule. He's going to fight in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. In May 2025, he's going to fight in Riyadh. On September 2025, he's going to fight Terrence Crawford. February 2026, again in Riyadh. In October 2026, Riyadh. It's a 4-fight deal, and they're saying that this is one of the biggest boxing contracts ever created. I have no idea how much Canelo is going to get paid for these fights, but that's massive. That is very massive, but it does kind of suck because now the fights are going to be so early. that's the thing that sucks about these fights that take place in Saudi Arabia. They do take place around like 5 p.m. or 4 p.m. here in Texas in the Central Time, and we're so used to seeing the fights that take place in Las Vegas around like 10 or 11 at nighttime. Yeah, that's gonna really suck for his fans because he is from Mexico and most of his fans they are from there. I'm not really sure if it is gonna be around the same time. I think it might be earlier, maybe like 2 or 3 that he's gonna fight around that time for Mexico. I'm not really sure the actual time zone for Mexico, but that's what I'm thinking because I am in Texas and Mexico is just down there. So yeah, maybe so. But yeah, that's the deal that Canelo has made with Saudi Arabia. He's gonna have 4 fights over there, and the one we're looking for the most is against Terence Crawford. And hopefully he's going to fight David Benavidez one day. But we don't know. We don't know if he's actually going to. The Terence Crawford fight is still going on, but let's see, man. Let's see how it actually goes down. In other news in combat sports, the David Benavidez fight against David Morrell, they're like one of the youngest upcoming boxers, and they're like rising stars. And that fight was actually pretty good. Like David Morrell, he was actually giving David Benavidez a great fight, and he actually got a knockdown against David Benavidez. The thing is, that knockdown they didn't count it anymore because supposedly David Morrell he did actually hit Benavidez right after the bell sounded, and that's why they didn't count it. But like in everybody's eyes, the fans and the casuals, everybody, they saw that he did knock down David Benavidez. Now, will we ever see a rematch with these two ever again? Now that would be a good one. But maybe they're gonna be a little bit older now. We might actually get another fight from these two down the line. But they have to win their fights, and we will see, man. Maybe between these two, one of them might actually get the Canelo fight one day, but we don't know, man. We don't know if it's actually going to happen or not. For years, man, David Benavidez has been wanting to fight Canelo Alvarez, but I don't think Canelo doesn't want that fight. Canelo Alvarez, I think he's just being strategic with the people that he wants to fight. I think he knows that he might lose against David Benavidez. But like the fans and people, they really want this fight. I want this fight, but we will see, man. We will see if it's ever going to happen. And yeah, guys, that is it for this podcast. Hey, thank you so much for listening. If you guys did made it this far, make sure to follow this podcast on whichever platform you are listening to it. If you are listening to it on Spotify, YouTube, Pandora, make sure to follow it. And also recommend this podcast to a friend or a neighbor that actually likes listening to stuff about combat sports, gaming stuff, and anything pop culture related. Maybe they will enjoy this podcast as much as you do. And yeah, guys, that is it. Take care and live to the fullest. Bye.